Hello guys, this is Felipe NYC Traveler TV. We're in New York City down at the Battery Park area. So this is Felipe NYC Traveler TV. We're going to show you a little bit of the Freedom lights. This is the Freedom Tower just off to my left, and just about a couple blocks away down the street there's this enormous parking lot, the Battery parking garage, as you can see off into the distance. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it, the Battery parking garage. And then as you zoom out, you see that it's actually a parking lot, but also in the roof are the lights, the tribute and lights. You can see the lights right there. So there's one of the beams coming out, and then the other one. Let me zoom out and then move the camera up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And these are the famous lights that you see off into the distance, you know, from many miles. If you're in Brooklyn, Queens, or anywhere else in the city, you can see them from far away. So these are the famous tribute and lights, which are basically used by the West Side Highway, and they're propped up on top of a parking lot called the Battery parking garage right there, the Battery parking garage. And so on top of it is actual lights. If you watch one of my previous a couple of videos ago, scopes ago, you will see that I was actually in this building right here. You know, I was over on that the top of that building in one of those windows showing you the lights actually. So you guys, if you guys see it, you will see the lights from the top, you know, from above, almost like a drone flight. It wasn't a drone flight, it was me inside that building, you know. But anyway, so the lights look really beautiful. Thank you for all these amazing hearts, and for all the beautiful love and nice wishes that you have been sending over. And let me show you something very interesting. Inside the lights are birds. You see those white dots kind of moving around, you know, all throughout it, you know, all through them. They're not bugs. I mean, people say, oh, there's not bugs, but they're not bugs, they're birds. You know, they're so big, you know, so they're flying in and around the lights. So, and yes, of course, I love sharing stuff about New York. And let me show you right here to my left, I have a really nice, beautiful shot of the Freedom Tower actually. Just right there, you know, looking really nice. I'm gonna go there in a few minutes. You know, it's just wanted to show you the lights really quickly before I go. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate you coming to see the scope. So that's actually, I owe you a lot more, you know, than that you owe me, or gratitude. I have much more gratitude to you guys to coming over to see the scopes, because this is something that I love and I like to share with everybody, and it makes me very happy to see that you guys come over to see all the scopes. And I hope that you follow me so you can see more stuff about New York. So let me show you a little bit of the light sequence right there. Let me put it so you guys can take some photos actually. So it looks really cool actually, very nice. The lights off shooting into the sky. And, as you can see, they're just propped up on top of a parking lot right here that you can see. It's basically a parking lot, and then the lights are on top of the parking lot. Make sure to watch a couple of scopes before that I did, and you can see the lights from above. Actually, it's a very nice perspective because it's not something that you see very often, but these are the lights coming off into the sky, looking amazing, really, really cool. And you see all those white dots, you know, that you see right into the lights. Those are actual birds, you know, flying over, you know. So, but yeah, the lights are propped up on top of a parking lot, you know. You can see right here. Let me refocus. Looks really sharp, you know. There it is. Yeah, thank you for all the photos and stuff like that. So this is what the beam lights look like from the parking lot right below, you know. So what I'm going to do now is actually go and grab a bicycle and ride over to the Freedom Tower, which is just to my left right here, you know, right there off into the distance. You know, we're going to go over and take a look at it from down below, and also the reflective pools that are actually illuminated tonight, you know. So it's really, really beautiful today. It was a nice day weather-wise and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off right now and come back in just a few minutes, you know, to show you a little bit more of the Freedom Tower. As you can see up above, just one more time, and thank you for all those incredible hearts. And this is actually, maybe I shouldn't sign off. I should just walk into the Freedom Tower. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. So why don't you guys follow me? So let me put the phone back into a different perspective, and thank you for sharing and everything. So this is Felipe NYC Traveler TV. So let's go ahead and get moving. We're gonna head over to the Freedom Tower. These are the lights again, you know, looking incredible today. You know, there's a lot of people out on the streets. You know, the lights are on top of a building, you know, of a parking lot. But now we're gonna head over into the Freedom Tower actually. So it's right here to my left. You know, you see it right there. It's looking incredible tonight. So we're gonna walk towards it really quickly right now. It's probably about 2 blocks away. It'll take us about 10 minutes or maybe less, and we'll see how it goes. So let me quickly get to it. And the lights again, one more time, guys. You know, these are the lights. Looking really awesome tonight. light there on top of this building, which is basically a parking lot. So looking really incredible. Let me give you a one more look so you guys can see. I'm gonna turn it this way so you guys can see a little bit better. So we're right into the middle of the highway. This is the West Side Highway. You see the cars passing by, and oh, thank you for loving New York. I love New York too. I live here, and but it's very interesting because it's basically like, it's not what you see. You always think that the lights are by the Freedom Tower right there, but no, they're on top of the parking lot. There's a parking lot, the battery parking garage. You know, it's basically like a building about yo hablo español también. A muchos saludos a amigos hispanos. But anyway, so we have a lot of really interesting things to see. And Hola Venezuela. And so we have this parking lot is about like, it's like a 5 or 6, it's like 7-story building, you know, 7-story building, about 7 floors of parking garage, and on top of the parking garage is where the lights are. So you see the 2 beams right there, you know, and then you shoot off into the sky, looking really cool actually, and going into the infinite, you know, into the, basically right off into the sky. Is really interesting how far off they go. You know, they get lost into the clouds, you know, and they kind of cross at one point. And then you see a lot of birds flying around and through the lights. See all those white dots. I don't know if you can see a few white dots and specks throughout. But yeah, it is this luces. The luces are the tribute and lights. You know, it's like a memorial para memorializar lo del ataque del 9/11. But anyway. Yeah, but these are the lights actually. So let's come down so you can see that it's very interesting. It's just up on top of this building. It's really cool. Like those lights just shoot and beam off right from here actually. It's very interesting. Like you see. And then I'm gonna zoom out and then show up this way, and then you see the lights up on top. So now guys, let's take a walk to the Freedom Tower. Actually it's just a few blocks away from here, as you can see it right there. So I'm gonna try to keep on showing it as we get there, so you guys can see, you know, it's not really that far. It's about 2 blocks away, so we're walking towards it, and we'll see how it looks. And, yo sí hablo español. Yo soy de México. Yo nací en México y crecí en Texas, and then I moved to New York in the year 2000. Pero sí hablo español para mis amigos de México y de Latinoamérica y de España, por supuesto. And but yeah, so we're walking towards the Freedom Tower right now. The lights are blue, you know, it's a very commemorative blue, really beautiful on the antenna. Let me give you a shot of the antenna really quickly. Hold on. There you go. So the antenna is in a really beautiful blue right at the tip of the antenna, and the bottom it's a little bit of green, you know, like a teal color, more or less, like a light, like a dark green between blue and green. And then the rest of the antenna is blue. It looks really beautiful tonight. And the observatory, you can see many floors that are illuminated, and then there's 2 floors that are kind of dark. I mean, not really dark, but they have less lights. That's the observatory actually, where people can go up and take a look at the whole area of New York. So I'm gonna zoom out again, and then we're gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna show you the pools. It's gonna be very cool and interesting because we're just about 2 blocks away from it. So in about 5 minutes we'll be there. And so I'll be showing you very quickly what it looks like when we get there. And today was, of course, 9/11, the celebration and the memorial services for all the families and members of the armed forces, police, and firefighters who perished, you know, in the attacks, and all the civilians, people from all over the world, including Mexico, many countries in Europe. And so there's a memorial. There was a memorial service this morning, you know, and we're walking on the West Side Highway, so as you can see, and so let's see. So we're walking on the West Side Highway. I'm sorry, I'm missing a few of the messages. Sorry about that. I've been talking too much and everything. But yeah, let me get a little bit closer. Oh, I see a reflection that. Oh, I see. In the tower itself, actually, I see something really interesting that I'm going to show you right now. I see a reflection that is kind of unusual. You know, let me show you really quickly. Hold on, sorry about that. There's a reflection right there. You know that bright spot of light right there, this light right here that you guys see, I guess you can see it more or less right there. You know, yeah, it's oh, sorry about that. It's illuminating into the tower, and what I think it is a reflection. It's difficult to see it from here, but it's a reflection of the actual tribune lights, which is right here. I'll show you once more. Now we are a little further away from it. We just walked out of it, so it's right there, and you can see the lights shooting off into the sky. You know, so it's very interesting. You see this? Let me keep on walking so I can show you the Freedom Tower actually as we approach it and get closer to it. So we're about a block away, you know, and I'll show you a little bit more about it just once we get closer. And let's see. Here we're approaching closer and closer. We're maybe about a block away. Now we're going to pass a bridge that connects into the memorial area, and we'll see the pools actually. They look really nice tonight. I'm sorry if I'm not able to read really well some of the comments, because there's a lot of people around me and a lot of cars and people and the traffic, so I have to be very careful where I'm walking before I get into an accident. Like for instance, there's a lady here, you know, on a bicycle, so you gotta be careful with all kinds of vehicles around here before you get into an accident. But anyway, so we're getting closer to it. You know, the tower is up above here. We're almost there. Yeah, this is ground zero. There's the Freedom Tower. Thanks for all your respectful and beautiful comments and blessings. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me because I'm a New Yorker. I was here on 9/11. You know, my wife went to school just a couple blocks away from the Twin Towers. I used to do a lot of business down here, and yeah, it was something really traumatic, and it has a lot of feeling into my heart personally. So it's really beautiful and nice to see you people. A lot of people from all over the world give us so much support and such beautiful comments and really nice things that you guys say. So I really appreciate it. There you go. So we're getting very close to the main building right now. We're going to cross the street to see the memorial in just a couple of minutes. But this is the Freedom Tower in all its glory from the first floors below. Let me get a little closer so I can show you. So down there is that blue area you see. It's the base of the building, you know, right there. You see the traffic, the oncoming traffic coming over. So right, that blue area you see is a huge atrium, and it's basically glass that is illuminated inside. And then as it goes further up, you see the tip of the tower with the antenna. So what we're going to do right now is cross the street to go off into the memorial area and take a look at what's going on inside. There will be a lot of people. We'll see the fountains as well and the Oculus. So just one more second. We're going to be there in just a minute. Okay, there we go. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for following. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for all the funny comments. I see lots of conversation, and it's a lot of fun actually. It's very interesting to see why you guys talk about between one another. It's really cool, and it's very fun. But I very well appreciate it because it's very interesting to show, you know, things like this and to get such a reaction from everybody. So it's really cool. I see a little bit of a gathering up ahead, so let's see what's going on. I see that there's many people. So it gets a little bit dark. It's just kind of like a park. So let me just turn this off and hold the phone steady. We're gonna walk into the pools right now, the reflecting pools. We're about like you see them off into the distance. It becomes really dark as we are in here, but it'll get a little brighter in just a couple of minutes as we get into the main pool area. So just a second, we're almost there, guys. You know, I promise you that it's gonna be something to admire and to look about. It looks really interesting and really beautiful. And by the way, the tribute of lights that I was showing you earlier is right up above us now. You see, that's a beam of light that we were looking at earlier, you know, and by Washington, straight down a little bit further down. But anyway, so there are the lights. So now let's go look at the poles. So these are the poles. The poles are turned on today. They're really, really bright, actually. Let me do a full. I'm going to turn the camera this way. So it's actually like a waterfall. Like what you're looking at right now, let me show you like a close-up right here. It's basically almost like a waterfall. See this? You see the water just falling down. And yes, indeed, what you feel is water hitting down below. Let me show you. You see all the way down. See the water cascades up from the top. You know, it starts right here, basically, like in this corner. Let me show you. So the water starts up on the top here, and it begins to cascade down, you know, so it gets all the way to the bottom, and it hits the floor, the bottom of the pool. The bottom of the pool has those lights, so you see the water is falling into those lights, and it's an enormous pool, very large pool. And in the middle of the pool, there's a square, like another square, where the water recedes down into it as well. So that large square, you know, is where the water goes to from all four directions. Essentially. This is incredible. It's an incredible look how this water just comes down. And see, the way that it's coming down from this side over here, you know, it's actually falling from exactly where I am right now. It's a perfect square, so the water comes down from every single side. The first side over here, the next side over there, and then there's the other side over here, and the side that we're in right now, which is right here, you know, right onto it, like right here, below us, you know, this whole section here. So the water is coming down from my own perspective as well. People from Florida, from many states, really appreciate you guys coming over to see. And saludos a México. And let me show you one more thing. Let's look a little bit so I can show you a little bit more. And, let me show you. It's a little bit dark and hard to see. Description of the lights. This is difficult to see at night because it's very dark, but like during the day you could see how there's the names inscripted into a bronze cast surrounding. The whole fountain is surrounded by it's a cast of iron. You know, the iron covers the whole area of the pool, you know, on the outside, and within it is all the names of the people that died. It's nearly impossible to see at night. It's just not bright enough. But there's dozens of flowers all throughout, you know, American flags. It's really beautiful and incredible. And as you can see also, we're over by the pool. And I love sharing stuff like this with you guys. I live here, I'm a New Yorker, so it's really important for me to share something like this. So there's a Freedom Tower, looking really cool. There's the antenna up on top. It's a little bit dark, but that is the Freedom Tower. You know, it's coming down. There's the base of the tower, and of course the reflecting pools is down here.
Yeah, it's like a live app so people can see it from all over the world. Yeah, it's like, see all these comments, like, you know, there's crazy people too, you know. But there's a lot of people that comment and ask questions. So, yeah, look, about 500 people watching. So, and it's all lights right there? Well, this, yeah, they give you hearts and stuff like that. So, and then you talk to them, they hear you. And, yeah, very interesting. And you yourself can see stuff from all over the world. The people that have the app, when you download it, you can start rating the photos, and see the school, and people are watching it. So it's very cool, it's very interesting. People like to see things like this. So mine is called NYC Traveler TV. NYC Traveler. I just don't want to travel and look at it. So I travel through NYC. So it's kind of like a hobby that I do. So I show a lot of stuff around too. Yeah, very interesting. And many people that do this all over the place. In Canada and Australia and stuff like that. And you can do your own, you can show stuff yourself. Like a lot of kids your age, you know, you have a basketball game or a football game, you show it. And people can watch it. It's really cool. Yeah, it belongs to Twitter. It's just an app from Twitter. So it's connected to Twitter, so it's really, really cool. It's like Facebook Live. This they came out a little bit earlier than Facebook Live. But yeah, it's really cool and people actually really enjoy it. Yeah, it's really nice on here. I just had to stabilize it.
Yeah, I bought it on a store, like an electronics store, for $200. So it flips the iPhone into it,
and you don't have to always pay the people. So it kind of looks good. Yeah, it's very neat. So it's also nice thing like that. So and yeah, it has a movement. Like it's automatic. It moves by itself. So just to give it more stabilization. When you walk, it doesn't kick and nothing. And yeah, but
oh yeah, guys, there's a lot of people commenting really crazy stuff, but it's probably a troll or one of those kids that are like 10 years old just giving all of you a hard time, but we're going to block them in a minute.
Also, when you have people that are crazy, you can block them.
Hey, Jeff, is Felipe on the reflecting pools?
And there's a lot of people that actually come from New York. So there's a guy named Jeff Gilbert. He's very famous on the internet, so he shows us a lot of New York. Where are you from? Oh, from here? Oh, no, that's fine. So you can show a lot of stuff in here as well. But yeah, what's cool is to watch people all over the world. You can watch people in Australia, France, and Germany, and all over the place. So it's very cool. It's very interesting. So, yeah, well, I was born in Mexico, and I grew up in Texas. Oh, where are you from? The one area. Huh? Oh, you too? Yeah, I grew up. Well, I was born there, and then when I was 5, I went to California. And then when I was 8, I came back to the city. And then when I was 18, I went to school there and I got my course. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, it's an awesome city. I love it. It's really, really cool. And but yeah, this is really good. This is all over. It's so interesting. Look for me if you want to travel. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you, man. Take it easy.
Alright guys, we're back in action. So I was talking to a friend right here, you know, another New Yorker that's here, you know, just over Periscope. Let me go ahead and block a few of the trolls. Hold on for a second. And but anyway, so let me move along a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep on walking over to the other corner, and there's another pool that is actually wait a minute, let me show you the lights again actually. Hold on for 1 second. So off into the distance we can see the lights. Let me change the perspective of the phone. And sorry about that. So there it is. Oops. Okay, there it is. So you see the lights again, you know. So there you are. You know, they're going off into the sky. So you see they go so far off into the sky, really, really far away. And they're coming off. They're like 2 blocks away, you know, where we were standing a little while ago. So, but anyway, let me turn the phone back up this way, and we're back on track right now. And so let's walk a little bit more to the other side so we can see the buildings. You know, the Freedom Tower is just off from the reflecting pool, so it looks really cool actually. And then we'll close off and finish up the scope because actually my battery's about to die. But anyway guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying, and let me come here really quickly to this corner. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Hi from Montreal. Hello guys, friends from Canada. Tiffany, thank you so much. I see that you've been commenting a lot, and I'd like to see one of your periscopes. Hopefully one day you'll transmit so we can see where you're from and what you do. So that'll be really cool. So I'm really close to the corner right now. Let me do a zoom so you can see exactly where the water comes from. Hold on for 1 second. There you go. So we're right at the corner, one of the corners. So the water is a little bit hard to see. You see a little bit of reflection of water, but this area that looks black basically, but during the day it could be better, is water. So it falls down, as you can see it right there. And just as it falls, when it comes out, there's like little teeth, like the teeth of a comb, more or less. So when it falls down, it begins to dissipate. As it comes down, it comes really nice and a nice stream, very sharp and sleek. But as it begins to fall down lower, it begins to dissipate, and it begins to form this like haze, like almost like foam. And then as it gets to the bottom, it hits those lights. See exactly where the water is falling, you know, in this direction right here, all the way down. That beam of lights is where this water is falling into, and that's what it sounds so. Yeah, you guys can hear the sound. It's very, very dramatic. It's almost like a waterfall. Let me put it closer so you guys can hear. Hold on. Oh, you were stuck in an 18-wheeler here in New York City with your fiance, and it was pretty scary. Yeah, well, New York can be that way. It can be pretty scary sometimes, but also it's nice and fun as well. Oh, somebody's birthday. I missed it, but there's somebody's birthday, so well, happy birthday. Yes, New York City is very tight for trucks. It's true. It's very true, and I see it every single day. There's very few 18-wheelers that are allowed. I think there's only a few days out of the week that they allow 18-wheelers to drive into the city. They come from the George Washington Bridge. That's the only bridge where you can drive an 18-wheeler to, but it's really tight and they have a really hard time making deliveries. That is very true. I've seen it many times. If you can stop comments, you just slide to the left, and then there's a little box that says hide comments. That way you can just enjoy the view and my voice, and then you don't see everybody's comments. Yeah, happy birthday. I don't know exactly who it is, but happy birthday to you. And let me show you really quickly. So there's a reflecting pool down here, and you know what's really interesting, this water comes from here, and it falls down into the pool itself. And yeah, my battery has about 8% left, so I'll be stopping very soon actually. And then as the water gets falls down into this area, it begins to it has an incline, a little bit of an incline, so it begins to navigate from here as it goes this way into the next square, this area right here, and then it falls down into a much deeper pool. No one sees what's in it, but there's another pool. Yeah, actually the phone is propped up in a little caddy, like it's a stabilization system, so actually it's very well gripped. So yeah, that would be something if I dropped it. Yes, thank you for watching. I see Tiffany talking about how it was very difficult to drive here in a truck. So I think she was here with her fiance. And yeah, driving in New York driving in New York City with a car, just with a regular car, is very complicated. So driving with a 18-wheeler is even harder. I can only imagine. I mean, I've seen them driving around and I see how difficult it is. But an 18-wheeler, boy, I mean, that's like, you guys are heroes for being able to come in to deliver all the goods to us New Yorkers. Hey bro, how's it going? Thank you for following. So guys, I'm gonna, sadly, my phone is really dying, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and sign off in just a couple more minutes. I only have about 5 or 6% left, so I gotta get going. And so I have to sign off in just a couple minutes. But I really want to appreciate that you guys came to follow me. I mean, the hearts are like beyond belief. I've never seen so many hearts. It's so cool. It's really moving, especially on a day like today. And please make sure to follow the channel, and I recommend to you to watch a scope that I did about 2 scopes ago. Like you'll see it, you know, it's like maybe an hour or 2 ago. It's a tribute of lights, you know, those lights that I was showing you earlier from the top. I was on top of a building, so it